Are you looking for a fun way to teach history in your homeschool? Does your family love board games? Well, if that's the case, then I want to share something that I am so excited about. And it's a brand new board game that was just released on Amazon called Trekking Through History. So I want to share a little bit about what this game is and why my family loves it. So, Trekking Through History is a brand new board game that was just released from Underdog Games. You might know them from their other board game that is super popular for homeschool families, Trekking Through the National Parks. This one is their newest release, and it is a game that teaches all about history and famous historical events throughout world history. This game is perfect for 2 to 4 players ages 10 and up. So the first thing that I noticed as soon as we opened the box was just how high quality this game is. I am always looking for games that will hold up to lots of play from lots of kids over multiple years, and I definitely think that Trekking Through History fits the bill. This is the play mat that you use for the game, and it's actually made out of cloth with a rubber backer. It kind of reminds me of a mouse pad. So I was super impressed with the high quality of this game and just how I think it's going to stand up to a lot of play a lot of times. Another thing that I love about this game is the deck of history cards. So these are the history cards. There's 108 of them in the game, and each one of them tells about a famous event or a famous person in history. It kind of feels like you're going back in time and actually experiencing these events. So on each of the cards, there is a really beautiful illustration on the front. I love these, and I feel like they really add a lot to the game. And then on the back, there is a description of the event that tells you just a little bit about what happened. And these are a lot of fun too. In our family, we read the back of the card whenever somebody draws one, and it's a really great way just to add a little bit more history into this game. Another thing that I love about this game is how simple it is to play. So when I first opened the box, I was kind of intimidated by all of the different tokens and crystals and cards and things that were in the box that are part of the gameplay, but I was super impressed with the directions that came with this game. They have lots of photographs that show you exactly what to do, exactly how to set up the game, and then exactly how to play step by step. And they're designed to get you playing as soon as possible. So they explain the basics of the game and then kind of go into the more intricate details. So I was really impressed with that because we were actually able to get started playing as we read the directions. And at first we were referring back to make sure that we knew what we were doing, but by the end of that very first game, we were able to play confidently without the directions. So I felt like the learning curve for this was super easy, and it wasn't super hard to figure out the strategy or the turns that we needed to do. Another thing that I really like about Trekking Through History is how quickly the game moves. So the individual turns didn't take very long, and we were able to complete our entire game in an hour to an hour and a half at the most. This is awesome as a busy homeschool family because it really allowed us to be able to get out the game and play whenever we want without worrying that we're going to set up a huge game and then not have time to finish it. I also really appreciate that the individual turns moved quickly. We didn't spend a lot of time waiting for anyone to figure out their strategy or to take a really long turn. And so even with multiple people playing, it was easy to stay focused and to really stay engaged in the game because we always knew that our turn was coming up quickly again. And then I also really love the way that the strategy is organized in this game. I noticed that there are lots of different ways to win, and so it was a lot of fun to be able to think about which strategy we wanted to play. You could either build the longest trek of history cards, which meant that you were collecting as many cards as possible in chronological order, or you could try to score points from an itinerary. The itineraries had different ways that you could collect colored tokens and score points that way. So I really like that there were just lots of different options for the strategy because it meant that it didn't take very long to figure out what strategy we wanted to do. And no matter what, even if one strategy wasn't working, you could always just try another one. So if you are looking for a fun way to include more history in your homeschool, I would highly recommend Trekking Through History from Underdog Games. I will put links in the description of this video so that you can learn more about Trekking Through History and grab a copy for your family.